Okie dokie. We're going to do a couple unboxings here. As you can see, we've already torn out the entire interior out of the Camaro, and a lot of the wiring we're not going to need really any of it, since we're just going to be running on a standalone Haltech, and we really just need to have power to the chassis harness, so that way we have blinkers and brake lights and all that stuff. So but it looks like we got all that figured out. But right here we have some cool stuff that I've been excited to get, and let's take a look. Add that to the pile of trash. And what we have here. This is a Mockup LS1 long block. So I was torn between getting a Mockup block, not getting a Mockup block. Obviously I decided to get a Mockup block, but the reason for getting the Mockup block was just because it allows us to bolt on all of the stuff like normal, so we can check clearances, and then also it allows us to keep fabricating stuff on the engine bay while we build the real engine separate, and then hopefully we shouldn't run into any fitment issues with this stuff, considering the Mockup LS1 engine block should be really close to a factory block. These even have the spark plug holes and the header bolt. And then if we continue our unboxing extravaganza, we have, I've already cut it, but we also have this. So this is a 6061 all TIG welded 1/8 inch aluminum intake manifold, and this is going to hold 30 pounds of boost. So this should be able to hold for what we're going to use it for. And when we put this on the Mockup block, we should be able to get it lined up to where be able to actually try this intake like that. So this will actually bolt onto this Mockup block, and then we'll be able to get all of our hood clearances and make sure all that stuff's good. We'll also be able to fit all of our intercooler piping. Not our intercooler piping, or kind of our intercooler piping, at least our charge piping. And then also we'll be able to set this motor in there, see what kind of clearances we have up front, and we can do all of that without actually having to move a heavy engine around, which if you guys have seen my previous videos, and we're bringing Brio on this, my son who's 6, I don't want to move a bunch of heavy stuff around, especially with him being small and not necessarily knowing where he can go or where he shouldn't go, and pinch points and stuff like that. So I thought it was more of a safety issue for myself and especially for him. So we'll be able to fabricate pretty much everything we need to fabricate using this Mockup engine, and it should get us going here pretty quick. So we'll be able to bolt this up to the 4L transmission housing that I have that's also really light, and we'll be able to just put this in there by hand without having to break out the cherry picker or anything. So pretty cool. I think it'll make everything, our lives, a whole lot easier during the project. But I'm going to keep plugging away on this. I'm still tearing out all the old stuff. There's a really old fuel system in there. It's for a carbureted engine. All that stuff needs to come out. Eventually I'm going to need to drop the fuel tank, tear all that stuff out of the fuel tank. All we need on the tank is the filler neck and a vent. All the other lines, we're going to put bulkhead fittings for all of our fuel stuff. But we obviously have a long ways to go. So let's just keep moving forward.